spending a lot of time on your DMs, doing follow-ups, or even hiring a dedicated sales team won't get you the most sales on Instagram. And it's something that most coaches will never admit, but this will. And it's gotten me over 12,000 leads in the last 6 months. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why all the time you're spending on DMs is not cutting it. In the DM flow, I implemented that actually will. Okay, so for this, I'm going to show you my own DM flow, and we're going to go to ManyChat. You're going to go here to your homepage and then to automations. And I already have this set up as a demo with the same flow that I use for my Instagram posts, but I'm going to show you step by step how each message works, what it's meant to do, how to make it sound like an actual human being behind the process, to not just maximizing the number of leads and sales, but to make the process feel human and that there is actually someone putting some thought into the bloody thing. So the way that I want you to look at this process, there is an action that triggers the whole process, and that can be someone commenting on your post, or someone sending you a DM, someone responding to a story. There is a trigger that starts the process, and there are a subsequent set of steps that carry through the conversation depending on the action that the user actually takes. I think my chickens are laying an egg if you can hear them in the background. So this is the overview of the flow. And I'm going to show you two options. But first, we're going to go here to the triggers. For you to create a trigger is simply, in this case, I'm going to go to Edit Automation because this is a demo that I have already set up. But if you were to create a new trigger, you will just go and you will create this, press this plus button, and this will allow you to choose trigger. So in this case, this trigger has 3 parts, or 3 different triggers. We have commenting on the post, responding to a story, or sending a direct message. It's very important that you include this direct message option because sometimes Instagram, when someone either has some restrictions on the way they communicate with others when they are not following you, or who knows, the comments actually goes through as a DM. And if the automation is not set up for DMs as well, the person is going to fall off the funnel before you even get a chance of talking to them. So we want to ensure that we have some continuity in the process. So in this case, this is what happens when you set up, let's say, new trigger for a post. So all posts or reels, continue. And then in the specific keywords, you're going to choose a word that triggers the automation. So when someone comments on your post, in this case, pattern, carrots, or tomato, they're going to start firing ManyChat, and ManyChat is going to start sending everything. Quick note here, I will highly encourage you to avoid generic words that can be used in a conversation or in a normal comment. I used to use words like guide or scale, and it will mean that the automation will get triggered frequently without people actually commenting for the thing that I wanted them to comment. So I started using different words. Pattern is probably the most common one that I have at the moment, but it's usually carrots, tomato, koala, panda, and all these random things. You can choose any comment, and this will basically just fire the automation every time that someone's comment something on your post, which I don't recommend, but just having the keywords. Then we go to continue, and ManyChat has the option of you choosing default replies every time someone comments. So if someone commented pattern or whatever word was there, they can send some automatic replies under the comment. You can add new replies. You can modify these ones. Like if you want to say something else, you can just tailor this to the way that you actually speak. If you are using this option, my recommendation is that you use a lot more responses than 3 and that you tailor this to the way that you talk. So it doesn't feel like you're sending the same message to every single person that is commenting. So if you don't want this option, you can just click no. But in this case, we're going to leave it for the sake of this tutorial this way. Beautiful. So we have the first step now is going to ask, okay, what is going to happen next? And in this case, let's say that I'm going to remove this. You will click here, for example, and it will give you the option of creating. I'm going to show you actually so you can see how it looks. Okay. In this case, you have the option of triggering an Instagram message, and you will write the message here. But since I have that, I'm going to delete it. Beautiful. And I'm just going to link it to the next message, to the first message. And this is what you're going to do. Do not send the link on the first message because it feels impersonal, transactional. And even though they did comment to get the thing, you want to make sure that every step that your brand is taking is geared towards building that relationship and towards emulating an interaction between actual people. Even though I will say 90% of people know that this is automated. The first message, you just want to confirm that they actually commented on the post to get that resource. Like in this case, I am promoting a freebie, a lead magnet. You can have this set up to book a consultation or a low ticket offer, or maybe you're doing a survey. But the first message is meant to re-engage people that perhaps, like how many times do you comment on a post and then you forget about it? So it's meant to re-engage people, it's meant to filter out people that perhaps have commented that word randomly in the comments and did not want to receive the automation, or maybe people just changed their mind. So I have here, hey, you commented about receiving the carousel patterns I found after researching a ton of content. I want to confirm that you do want to receive the dog. And I always give the two options. Yes, thank you, or yes, please, or yes, and no, thank you. Because if someone commented on that by accident and did not mean to trigger the automation, you want to be able to give them the way out. You don't want to be like the pushy shop attendant that is like, okay, yes, and you want to try this and this one just arrived and try this one on and it looks so beautiful, when it doesn't feel genuine. And we want to avoid that. So now, yes, please, no, thank you. So I'm going to walk you through what happens when we click on yes, please. Amazing. Can't wait for you to go through it. What's the best email to send it to? My recommendation is that one, you don't send the resource straight to your DMs like, hey, just take it. Because if you just want to build rapport with someone and kind of generate awareness of your brand, fair enough. Just send it through, don't get anything in return. But you miss on the opportunity of actually getting the contact information from this person that perhaps is potentially interested in the thing that this lead magnet is connected to. Instead, you're going to ask them for the email. The second thing that you're not going to do is to send them an opt-in page on the flow where people just go and put in their details, right? Anything like, well, that gives them a little bit more autonomy. Yes, but it creates unnecessary friction. So they have to leave the app to go and put in their information. And Instagram sometimes doesn't like it when you take people away from the app. So we want to make sure that everyone is happy and that the process is nice and smooth for everyone involved. In this case, they just have to drop their email address there. Some people will say like, hey, I don't want to put my email address. That's fine. That's fine. You don't want it, you don't get the resource. If it's a resource that is geared towards you building your email list, they drop the email and you are going to connect your email provider. In this case, I have Kit and I have everything set up with ManyChat. ManyChat allows me to basically create a connection with my email provider where when someone puts their information here, it's automatically created on Kit. If your email provider is not linked as a partner of ManyChat, you can use an automation software like Zapier, and Zapier will automate that process for you. That is a conversation for another time. Now, what is the best email to send it to? They put their email address. Wonderful. And what happens when they put their email address? I tag them. So I tag them as someone who is interested in this case. This was about a freebie for a carousel, patterns that work in carousels for Instagram. Then I add the tags to my email provider and all the steps that are geared towards my platform, actually sending them the email directly. I've seen people doing something that I think is a mistake and defeats the purpose. And is that after even they do this step, they go, and I used to do it. I have to say, I used to do it. They go and they send the actual resource to the DM. And they say like, oh, so you don't have to wait. Because I thought it was nice. Like, yeah, I'm just giving you this now so you don't have to go and wait and check your email. But when you do that, you're actually stopping people from opening your emails, which affects your email deliverability. I can't say that word. I said it. Your email deliverability. So we want people to actually go check their email and receive the resource that you promise. Now, I'm going to show you something that happens when perhaps people don't engage straight away, because that is the reality most times. We comment on things, we forget about it, we are perhaps on a lunch break at work, then we comment on like 20 different things and everything just gets buried. This step over here, you have an option that ManyChat kindly has given to us, and is that when you create if the contact has not engaged, you can send them a message here, and you are going to, I'm going to show you something here. So if you go to the settings, to this little gear over here, you have the option of saying, hey, if the contact has not engaged, like if they have not tapped on any of these things, wait. It gives you up to days as well, minutes, hours, days, and then you can send them another message. And what happens when you send the other message is that you don't want to be overly keen, pushy, or desperate. And you don't want to make this too corporate and impersonal. So I have, for example, friendly nudge from somewhere in Australia. Will you still like to receive the dog? And then they go, yes, please. If they don't want to receive it, that's fine. They already had the option of saying no. This one, I personally don't include it. And I say, yes, please. And I put the little kangaroo emoji. I live in a national park, so I have kangaroos everywhere. And some people know that, so that fits kind of the vibe. And then they go back to this step that we had already designed in the first part of the flow. So it kind of like these little re-anchoring points that can pull them back into the conversation. And you notice, I'm not being pushy. I'm not telling them like, hey, this is amazing. Are you sure you don't want this? No. I am just giving them grace and assuming that they got busy or they are doing a lot of other things. And I just want to bring this message up. Don't send this too soon. Just wait between half an hour to an hour to send it. Sending it like way after, they're going to forget as well what they commented and what the thing was about. So you want to keep it still like fresh in their memories. If someone says no thank you, which can happen because they might have triggered that in using the word as part of their comment, not necessarily wanting to get the thing. No worries, it must have been a glitch then. Thank you for letting me know. Like, acknowledge the thing. Don't say like, oh, hey, are you sure? Nah. Just if they want to go, they go. Another step that I want to show you here is, this is all like trying to pull people back into the conversation. If someone responds, you know what happens. They go and they say like, hey, I'll tag and everything that triggers your email flow. If they have not responded, you can set up the same way that you did before. If they have data collection expires in, you can choose the time as well, days, minutes, whatever you want. Data collection expires, you can send another message. Would you still like to get the dog? Please remember to share your email below. Very important that you do this because when you send the next message, the opportunity for them to drop their email actually disappears. So you need to include that option again. And the same process goes here. You add them to the tag and all the process that you created for your email provider. If they still have not responded, I personally, unless this is something time sensitive that I have, let's say a special discount or a launch offer or a masterclass or something that is happening in a specific time, I wouldn't send anything else. If there is some type of time limit, you can send a third one, but just I'll be very intentional about it. Now, this point is very important because it's after someone sends their details, you don't just want to leave them hanging. You want to tell them like, hey, thank you. Thank you for giving me your email. Thank you for that. It shouldn't take too long. Please check your spam folder if you can't find it. If for some reason you don't get it, let me know and I'll get it sorted. Because sometimes shit happens. Glitches on the internet. Poor connection, who knows? And you do want to prompt them to check the spam folder because a lot of people just don't check it. And then you get people saying, I didn't receive the email. And it's actually been sitting in the spam folder all this time. And also, if for some reason your email provider has a situation where it doesn't send the thing, you get to send it manually. Okay, so what now is that it? If you have a proven funnel with a lead magnet that has shown you extremely amazing conversions and you know that once they get that free resource, you either serve them on your email list and all the conversion happens there, fair enough. You can stop there after you say like, hey, thank you for that. But if you're building your funnel, if you want to gather feedback, if you want to open the door for them to perhaps a little bit more nurturing, this is depending on the product that you have and depending on how much the thing is, you can set up something called a smart delay and send another message. Now, I'm going to show you two options. If you have them already set up on your email and all the nurturing and sequences and so on happen there, I will use this opportunity to ask an open-ended question. For example, this funnel is for a product that I have called the Carousel Studio. And in the Carousel Studio, I do the nurturing via emails. So I will send a sequence that basically get them to the process of, hey, this is for you or this is not, do you want to buy it? Fine. But I also like to use this opportunity to gather some feedback because some people might need some more nurturing. They have some questions, whether the thing is for them or not. So I set up something called a smart delay. And to set up a smart delay, I'm going to show you how to do that. Next step, you click on this and then you go smart delay. And you can choose the time here. So in this case, the default is 23 hours. I actually prefer to have it. I already have it there, so I'm going to delete this one. 1 minute. Because after they get my message of thank you, I still have their attention, and the next message that I'm going to send them is not, hey, would you like to buy this thing? It comes from a place of service. What I send is also, if you're happy to share, what's your current situationship with carousels? Love them, hate them, can't seem to work. whatever you want to send. Like, you see in the messages that I send on ManyChat, there is a lot of personality in the way that I talk, and you've seen the same thing of me talking here. I move my hands. It sounds a little bit like the dialogue that I'm having inside my head. So it's a mix of chaos and hoping that it makes sense. But that's me, and I'm fine with that because that is my brand. So I have this, and I have the option of them for them to drop whatever they want to say. And when they drop this information, I have an action then triggering. And what the action does is that it creates, I'm gonna move this one, it creates this beautiful tag that says carousels lead, for example, or carousels manual follow-up. And then I will go to my ManyChat and filter the people that are listed under that tag and see if perhaps they don't know what a carousel is, if they have any questions, if they have used it, if they have any feedback about the freebie, because all of that is important information. And you can continue the process there. The other option, depending again on the price of your product and what comes after, is the following one. I want to preface this by saying that if you have multiple free resources that are kind of building towards the same paid product, you don't want the person having to go through the same sequence multiple times. If you perhaps have this where you have sent it already, instead of having this delay pointing to an open-ended question, you can link it to this. And in this case, it's a condition. The condition is tag isn't. So if they had not been flagged as not being interested in the product, then I can send this. Well, in this case, I already had it, so I'm gonna delete it. Then I can send this. One more thing before you go. Oh, hey, before I forget to tell you, or I don't want that first line to be something like, I have something else for you. It's just, hey, you are already in, you show interest in this thing that is free. This might help you, and you can use here some either social proof, people that have had results with your product, or an anecdote, something that can be relevant to them. So in this case, I say, hey, one more thing before you go. The Carousel Studio is live. The system, I sent this during launch. The system I used to create my carousels, the one that brought me 40K new followers in 8 months, design, blah, 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 blah. If you want the link, just tap below, because some people might not want the thing, and that's fine. So if they say, yes, please, then I send them the link. If they say, no, thank you, they get the tag, not interested in the Carousel Studio. So if they go through another freebie that is related to carousels, I am not going to send them the same thing again. They already said that they were not interested, and that's fine. Or if perhaps it was a different automation where I didn't have this nurturing part of asking questions, then I can say like, okay, cool, I can send them this part. But it all depends how you choose to set it up. This system alone has gotten me over 12,000 new leads from this DM funnel alone. Like, I'm not spending all my time on DMs. So I just need to go and check the people that are tagged as perhaps they left a comment or they need some attention. Because the idea here is not that you spend all your time in DMs. You can make so much money in DMs. And honestly, if you have all the time in the world and don't want to do anything else in your business, do it. But since you still have a business to run, the point of this is actually streamlining your flow so you don't have to be wasting time in things that can be automated where your actual input is not needed or is not crucial. If you're already using ManyChat, I'm going to leave this template with fill in the blank spaces for you to use it for your DM funnel and tell me how many leads you are generating after you do this. And if you haven't tried ManyChat before, I'm going to leave my link below so you can try it yourself and see how much time it's going to save you.